Welcome back to more of Persona 5 Royal in Okumura's palace. We're in the disposal line now, but before we go any further, we're gonna talk to, Morgana. Well, at least he's grumpy at someone besides us for a change.
Hey.
Huh. Yeah, that actually almost reminds me of, like there's a line, not a line, but, like, one of the comments from the developer interview on Persona 3 is talking about, like, the whole concept of the Dark Hour is that people don't notice that they deal with death so often in their lives, and one of the things they mentioned was, when you eat a hamburger, you are dealing with death. Well, that is, unless you're eating a vegetarian burger, in which case, I mean, plants are alive too, but... yeah, I realized that I've forgotten to do these, so, yeah, that's annoying. I missed a few of these.
What are your thoughts?
They probably had some good things to say about the earlier production lines, too.
You're right. What are your thoughts?
But yeah, I also promised that in this episode, well, I promised I'd talk about the whole Morgana incident, but before that, I'm gonna do a, Velvet Room fusion session.
Do you need something?
Because I'm gonna have to look up how to downfuse into Lachesis in order to complete this strength rank up, because I really want to do this now. So it's possible with Koh-i-Noor I might be able to downfuse into Lachesis, but Atropos' level could be too high, because fusions with treasure demons are affected by the actual current levels of the recipient rather than just the base level. Nope, Ariadne Picaro, dang it. And that goes all the way up to Norn. But I could get Red Rider with Belphegor and Stone of Scorn.
You okay with this?
This should be reborn.
Why not? I said a lot for this, but, change to Enduring Soul. I no longer feel bad about getting that early by network fusion. And a Negative Pile is such a weird name for an attack that inflicts despair. Oh, Rising Slash is pretty good though, so probably want to keep that. Yeah, I thought we'd get Despair boost soon. And on that note, I will certainly take that Despair boost. Okay, so you into something with high strength is pretty good. And I'm starting to think that at this point it might actually be time to give up Mitra. Though I need to pass down Thermopylae, Concentrate Charge, quite a lot of things, but hopefully this should be good. This is a few levels higher, but this amount is peanuts given that we're a millionaire right now. So yeah, need Pinch Anchor. In fact, Pinch Anchor is kind of actually not even better for you because I have a choice between Thermopylae or Rising Slash, but at least it means I make a very Baton Pass focused persona. I want Triple Down, I want Charge and Concentrate, and Gun Boost, and Medea Raha.
This should be well.
And, well, I could fuse this after I get Lachesis to have an even bigger boost, but oh well. So in the original game, I remember quite clearly that Valkyrie had no weaknesses. It's weak to fire now, so, there's a reason for that, and I guess I can say it. It's because it shows up as an enemy a little bit later on, and I guess they thought it would be no. I guess they thought it would be too annoying to fight. Like, I guess they thought it was too annoying to fight in the base game with no weaknesses. Attack Master is not bad though, but your entire skill set is, well, except for that. That's not amazing. Deathbound, medium fierce to all foes. So, I don't particularly like Deathbound in Persona 5 that much, and it's only because it's a skill that Ryuji gets, and it's just not, I don't know, it just doesn't really do a lot of damage unless it hits both times, and I have pretty bad luck with it. Oh boy, that's good, but everything else in this skill set I like more. I mean, I guess technically I can get that by equipping Regent, but I hate to give up Mataru Kaja, but I like Attack Master. Oh, I can make Hellbiker, which I haven't done yet, so I probably should do that. Huh, Lilum for being such a lame persona itemized into Ice Amp? I'll certainly take that.
This will be
You okay with this?
But yeah, Archangel being part of this is because Hellbiker was called Hell's Angel in Japanese. I guess they were worried about, can you have copyright infringement with a motorcycle gang? I guess most people don't want to find out. But anyway, yeah, we have to summon a couple of things in the compendium. That's fine.
Choose
Unfortunately,
which
it'll mean we're no
skills to
longer a
inherit.
millionaire.
This should be now.
But hopefully the skills you learn via your level ups are good. I'm mostly doing this just to get you in the compendium and because Hellbiker is cool. Yeah, I think I mentioned this a while back, but like when I first saw Ryuji's outfit, I thought that his persona would be Hellbiker. I mean, Take Mikazuchi got promoted from a generic persona to Kanji's personal persona in from the transition from 3 to 4. So why not Hellbiker? But that doesn't work with Mighty Gaze, oh well. Tentarafu's kind of nice though. I suppose I can take that over Giant Slice. Fire Boost. Okay, I suppose. Don't really like Muda on. Miragion, well that does get buffed by Mighty Gaze. Yeah, I have way better than that right now. Mamuda on. I have better Scion things. So yeah, not the best, but again, Hellbiker's a cool looking persona. It also totally isn't Ghost Rider. Yeah, speaking of copyright infringement.
Well now, a most unexpected turn of events.
40 strength and 41 agility is pretty nice. Yeah, I'm kind of okay with having no alarm for this point, because I need to figure out how to... It seems like Fortuna plus Clotho is guaranteed to fuse down into Lachesis, but Fortuna's are quite a bit above my level right now. Okay, I'm going back in just because I think I found out a way to do this. This will cost a lot of money for special treatment, but it's probably going to work. So, okay, Queen's Necklace doesn't work. There we go. Regent plus Atropos makes Fortuna. The thing is, Ariadne Picaro is messing up this entire rank up of strength for me. Though you will always have Ariadne Picaro as a fusion option if you've got the new ports and have all the DLC. You don't have to actually get it out of the compendium for it to appear as an option. It'll always be there. But anyway, upfusing to Fortuna, and the whole thing of me getting Tetraja onto Atropos was actually completely pointless because Fortuna has Tetraja naturally.
You wish for more power than you can handle?
So this is going to cost me
Select the
quite a
skills
bit.
You'd like to inherit.
Rose my.
Passing down Forget Boost as well. I'm skipping over that spiel there just because I'm only getting you to fuse you down into Lachesis. Although you do get Garodine, which is pretty cool. Yeah, Touch and Go, I'm not really sure if that's a skill that I exactly want, so let's not take that. I don't really want Umbri to drop either. So as you can see, a Queen's Necklace and Fortuna will go down to Ariadne Picaro again. What I actually need to do is I need to get Clotho out of the compendium.
Read here and accept this such rudeness.
Clotho also learns Tetraja, so there are actually quite a few ways to do this. There we go, Fortuna and Clotho will make Lachesis.
You okay with this?
So I have all three of the Fate Sisters, but the weird thing is, they're not actually needed to fuse Norn this time. You can just make Norn normally, as you could see earlier from me being able to upfuse into Norn from Treasure Demons. It's kind of weird that way. Okay, so now I have Lachesis.
Now, it would seem...
There we go, next rank unlocked. Well, yeah, that fusion chain already got kind of messy.
Yes. What?
Yeah, that's a truth that we'd like to know too. Could you make us part of this conversation, please? Haha, rare case of a self-aware social link. Also represents taming of passions and emotional strength rather than physical sometimes. Yeah, maybe this was not meant to train the inmate, it was meant to train you. Somebody made that list so that you'd go through character development?
Shut up!
Okay, I thought you were gonna say that we're friends or something, but no, it takes much more to get a tsundere to admit that.
Alright.
Yeah, the next reward is gonna be a discount on special treatment, which is ridiculously amazing. But I actually will be going for rank 8 here as well.
Now,
I don't particularly care about the result at this point, so I don't mind not doing this during an alarm. You can't rank this up during an alarm anyway, as I've said before. So we need Hecaton Kaez with the skill Masukunda.
okay.
There's actually a pretty easy way to do this one. Lilim plus Anzu. There are probably other ways to do it as well. It's Lilim plus something from Hierophant that gives you the average level of Hecaton.
You'd like to read
Lilim
Compendium?
will need to be trained up a little bit, though, because
These are the
she
paths you have
learns Masukunda in a couple of levels.
Is this what you want?
Because she was a pretty strong persona for me, though, I'm going to buy
A
back
fuse with
Atropos.
This is your power. Done already?
And I kind of lied. I actually am going to have to wait for an alarm for this, because I need the experience bonus in order to get Masukunda on Lilim.
Okay, let's move on.
And so, we can finally explore the disposal line now. Also, we have another robot arm here, and, well, this one, I know for a fact, we actually can fast forward this, and I love how this looks sped up. You don't get to hear the funny sounds, though. Still tragic knowing these actually represent workers. But something that I kind of wanted to... Okay, yeah, there's going to be a conversation coming up here. This conversation right here actually makes me wish that these were fully voice acted.
Hey. No.
It would be amazing if Okumura was making a giant burger robot of doom.
Show me your true form.
You got them all.
Well, on to the
You know, just realizing I didn't even need an all-out attack for that, and that's a bad thing, because that means I don't get the money bonus from money reading.
Leave the noobs and let's go.
Yes, Futaba actually calls things noobs. Okay, we have a panel here, but first, there are some lasers blocking the way. This is our ultimate destination for this floor. Unfortunately, running these lasers over and over isn't going to make Okumura say, "You bastards!" I still love that from Madarame's palace. Got yellow generic worker robots.
Yes.
Yeah, here we go into the psychology of abusive companies and corporations. And yeah, this is important because, yeah, Yusuke is talking about the gaslighting that he experienced from Madarame and Stockholm Syndrome and all of that. Yeah, it seems like that's an actual thing that goes on in these companies. I talked about that in previous parts, and again, while some people do think that this is relevant to a lot of companies around the world, it is particularly significant in Japan. But one thing that I did want to talk about here as well, though, this is mostly unrelated, but regarding the fast food industry and just some personal stories of mine. So, back during my high school, my very, very early high school years, Australian Idol used to be pretty big on TV. It was more my parents and my mother and my sister who watched it. I wasn't really that into it, but I remember that since it got sponsored by McDonald's and also soft drink companies quite often, there were often ads during the ad breaks for McDonald's and often like the Happy Meal toys and those kind of things. Some of those toys were pretty cool. I remember saying earlier in this playthrough when going to Big Bang Burger that some places would let you buy the toys. I've heard some people in the comments say that that actually was true in a lot of places in the world, actually so that it wouldn't be legally classified as gambling, which I suppose would make sense. But my memories of these are interesting. Past a certain point in my life, they pretty much stopped showing McDonald's ads on TV, and even ads for soft drinks too, that featured children or advertised Happy Meals. Now, they still did the Happy Meals and the toys, they just never promoted them on TV anymore. And all of the McDonald's ads I saw, okay, when that happens, especially when the character next to go has an element they're all immune to, and that's why the machine gun is a pain. Oh, not! Just hoping that would be Yusuke, because we still haven't seen the Yusuke attack from Arn yet. But yeah, the ads would all just feature adults, like, eating the products. And I suspected, and later confirmed it by sort of searching online, that Australia actually made fast food advertising targeting children illegal. It must have been an attempt to, like, curtail childhood obesity and other health problems, but it's just kind of interesting how it worked out like that. But yeah, I don't know if that's the case in any other countries out there,
It's a strong one. I can tell.
or if there are any other restrictions like that. I know that in America, Kinder Surprise got made illegal for, like, violating food and drug conditions on, I don't care about this because you're going to instantly die to bless anyway, on, like, choking hazards, and certain types of cheese are illegal because they have mites in them.
All according to plan.
But while I'm in this room as well, one other thing that I can discuss is the Haru screen time issue. I've made jokes about it a lot, and really I kind of only did it because it was like, you know, there were obligatory jokes to make, because I actually don't really consider it as big of a deal as many people think. I feel like from this point on, Haru's screen time is fine, and when I was doing my test playthrough, I really wasn't bothered much by Haru's screen time from this point on. The main problem, though, is the fact that because Haru joins so late, I was actually wanting to check out Ryuji's new weapon. Strength plus 5, excellent! Yeah, he'll probably be keeping that for most of the game. Though I kind of want to put him in the party here, I want to keep Arn for fire against, the toilets. That's a weird sentence, but yeah. Aha, there's a robot arm here that we need to break, I think, in order to get over to this area, because the Yellow Press is very much affected by Company Stockholm Syndrome and isn't going to have any lunch breaks until we find one very specific switch for it. But yeah, the main problem some people have with Haru is the fact that she joins fairly late and her Confidant also opens up very late too. And unlike the late joining party members of Persona 3 and Persona 4, who I won't spoil just in case you aren't aware of those, just in case you haven't played those games, and, well, you know, don't want to be spoiled on those games. But the late joining party members in those games were major recurring characters in the plots right up until the point they joined. While Haru only gets a few minor cameos, and that's the real issue that some people have, that she just didn't get a whole bunch of screen time, and that just, like, really hurt for a character who joins late and also has a very late starting Confidant. Which, as I said before, her late Confidant was more of a problem in the base game than it was in Royal. That's a bullet hell, isn't it? Don't really need it, but oh well. Where it was tied to her getting Baton Pass. But the thing is, throughout Royal, you won't notice this if you're only playing the new ports or if Royal's the only one you have experience with, but if you played the original game, you'll notice that Royal did try and fix this criticism. It added a whole lot more scenes earlier on with Haru, like for example, a scene in your first days of school where you can see her out there in the school. I made sure to show that earlier on in the game. And that scene during Hawaii, but I personally feel like it didn't really work, and the reason for that is, while she got a lot more appearances earlier on in the game, none of them were really meaningful appearances. They were just cameos at best. The worst offender to me is that scene with Kawakami in the school trip, because really that scene was just less than a minute. Haru didn't serve any purpose in that scene, other than to walk in and say, "Hi Kawakami, why are you in a bikini for no reason?" And yeah, that scene where you can see her before at school doesn't really serve much of a purpose either. Come on, get on the arm, please. Why aren't you getting on the arm? That's weird. I'm probably still gonna make it, unless this enemy interrupts me. But yeah, that was kind of dumb. And there we go. So, we have a fight on our hands here, but thankfully you're not thrown into it directly. And that's good because I want to use Yusuke here. Yeah, blah, 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 break time is over, blah, I'm already over you. But yeah, here, I want Yusuke here, I definitely want Haru. They're really the only two people that I'll actually need. And I may as well start on Valkyrie for Attack Master. Okay then, let's go.
For the company, for our wonderful President Okumura.
And I'm so glad I don't have to do robot voices myself now because the game is doing it for me.
Any who approaches this place will be crushed. We shall carry out our president's will with glee.
And so we have an actual mini-boss here. One of the first, unless you count all of those earlier managers, but yeah, one of the first that uses this theme.
The opponent is strong. Don't do anything reckless.
So these guys, this fight can actually be a pain if you let it drag on too long because they like to debuff your attack. If you really let that get going, it will take you forever to get through this fight. Forever, comparatively speaking, by Persona 5 fast-paced battle standards. But I know a formula that will get through this pretty quickly. I just need to find... Oh yeah, she's quite low on my list now because I had to buy her back. There we go. So these things are weak to Psy and Ice.
Go down.
So if I go you first...
Knocked him right off their feet. Nice, Joker.
Then Yusuke,
Do it.
Not
Roger.
done yet.
Let's go.
and Mabufala everything. And we can go for all that attack here, but you know what? I'm gonna not give them the dignity. I'm gonna switch over to Haru
It's up to you.
Of course. Get him. For
and have her do a Masayo for their weakness. They're resistant to gun, that's why I didn't do triple down there. But more of them have shown up. And so, as long as I don't miss, if I repeat this exact same strategy,
knocked him right off their feet. Nice, Joker.
I'm never gonna let these things get an actual attack in. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, but when you don't want a different result, then why not repeat the same thing? So yeah, let's go ahead and baton pass over to Haru. Let's not, misclick here and ruin all of this. And yeah, this is not gonna miss since they're all knocked down. One thing I will say about this fight, though, is that it's a good thing that every enemy whose weakness you discover
Vicious
has their weakness logged in their stat screen for the rest of the playthrough. Even though these things aren't personas and aren't in the compendium, it is a good idea to memorize their weaknesses, and you will see why eventually. Just saying that memorizing these things' weaknesses might be worth your while.
knocked him right off their feet. Nice, Joker.
Go ahead. Roger.
On to the next.
Let's go.
And my Buffalo. And from here, I know this is the last wave, so we can just go ahead and all-out attack and finish this in style, and get the money boost too.
They're done for.
You've done it.
Still one of my favorite finishing animations. Wow, that wasn't a lot of money at all, which honestly makes sense, given these people are meant to represent minimum wage employees. No new skills out of that either.
The heck? That was easy as hell. Well, I mean they're overworked, brainwashed, and forced to go up against an impossible enemy. I hope nobody ever treats me like that after I turn back into a human.
Yeah, Morgana, that's why being a human has its issues sometimes. You'll need to go to school or get a job, depending on how old you are when you're actually in human form.
Come on, let's keep going. Don't look so down, Noir.
Don't look so down, huh? Well, unfortunately, the sad music is still playing.
I can feel it.
Once again, this is just galvanizing us further against him.
Yes!
So this is another one of those cases where, yeah, a lot of people might say that Persona 5's social commentary can be a little over the top sometimes, but given that Japan literally has a word for death from overwork, I think now might be a good time to mention that person that I think,
Seems...
again, Okumura might be based off of. Might be.
This is called the Airlock area. Wait, does that mean we have to go out into space?
Looks like here we've got some robots that have been jettisoned out the airlock for being suspected of being imposters. But were they really the imposter?
Putting it lightly, I believe such an action would lead to our extermination.
Also, that's a fantastic line.
Well, apparently you'll be okay for like 30 seconds if you keep your eyes and mouth shut.
But any longer, and your blood will boil and your body will explode. Actual quote from Magic School Bus regarding what happens if you take your helmet off in space.
Which is weird, because honestly, I would have thought we'd just explode out there.
Don't scare us, damn it!
But yeah, I'm going to go to the safe room here. I'm actually going to call this here, even though it feels like we haven't really made much progress, because we're in the final stretch of the palace now, and I would very much like for the airlock puzzle to get its own video, because it deserves it. This is one of the most infamous parts of this palace. And I've done a lot of fusing here, and I actually want to do a little bit more. I'm going to go and trigger an alarm on my own time. I'm going to go ahead and trigger an alarm off camera just so that I can get Lilim leveled up enough, and then I'm going to do rank 8 of strength. But yeah, I do want to mention, so I am saying right here that, allegedly, like, I'm not going to accuse Atlas of actually basing Okumura off of this guy, but the similarities are kind of uncanny. So, this guy is Miki Watanabe, who owned a chain of sort of pub restaurants. And in 2008, a female employee at one of these restaurants committed suicide after working 140 hours of overtime. He eventually had to settle out of court for 130 million yen, but yeah, because it was a settlement, he wasn't really officially charged with anything over it. And he did end up breaking into politics, and as far as I know, he's still a member of Japan's Liberal Democratic Party, which is something that is kind of satirized a little bit in Yoshida's Confidant as well. I might go into that later in the higher ranks.
Persona!
Oh, I promised to show you a taunting aura quote.
Come and get it!
Man, you did not take the bet at all.
You're a disgrace.
Oh, wow, savage. Now that I finally remembered to do that, I can actually give you an SP adhesive. Oh, I completely missed a chest here. I'm so glad I went back. I only have to grapple back up. Aha, green enemy. Even with the adhesive, Haru still needs an SP refill.
I'll reveal your true form.
Okay, yeah, got that for doing Sinead Hook a certain number of times.
Don't rush this.
Persona! Prepare yourself.
You did it, Fox.
Now, let us strike.
They're done for.
The finale. All right. I could have handled that myself.
You did handle that yourself.
Excessive physical insertion detected. Violence. Maximum search range. Now returning to standard range. Nothing to report. Results found in search range. Clear. Entering safe mode. Beginning recharge. Nothing to report. Continuing control mode. Appropriate check received. Level of resistance. In acceptable range. All clear in the vicinity.
All right.
Okay, there we go. No, get Masukunda and Dodge Bless. Oh, anonymous words. If the Dekarabia had Tetracon, that would have been pretty cool. But okay then. From this, we can go Anzu plus Lilim to get Hecaton Kaias. And one of the, like, I was looking at a guide and it said Unicorn, and I was like, oh, that's great, I already have Unicorn. But it was a guide for the base game where Unicorn was Hierophant, so no, Unicorn will not work in Royal for this fusion formula. Hecaton actually has a pretty good strength stat, and weakness to Bless is okay, given I find not a whole lot of enemies use that. Although Unicorn does show up as a regular enemy in the next dungeon quite early, so that could be a problem there.
Expect a modest gift of Be Reborn.
Expect a modest gift of Be Reborn. That should be Chihiya's cult slogan. Yeah, this thing's name literally means 100 arms. Though, obviously it has way less than 100 arms in the model, because it would be a little hard to animate that many arms. I mean, I don't really care about this persona, so I'm gonna just do it for the lols. Oh, okay. Yeah, dodge upgrade into evade is nice, and we also get evade psi. And yeah, greatly increases his triple evasion against those skills. I mean, yeah, no use for regular Tarukasha right now. Rebellion can actually be okay in some situations. Yeah, I have access to Enduring Soul right now for some reason, so I don't need Endure. Okay, we get immunity to curse insta-kills from itemizing Hellbiker. That would have been a lot more useful back when I was fighting, the Karen. It feels really, really bad that I never use this guy, and then I basically... I was gonna say skin him and turn him into a jacket, but no, it's more that I take his jacket.
Ah, so perhaps this is
After
a bit excessive.
actually, wait a minute. This is incredibly dark when you think about it. Where this is a member of a biker gang getting executed in the electric chair, and then the ones who did it keeping his jacket. It's just reminding me of that weird Treehouse of Horror Simpsons episode.
Well, it is what it is.
Is this
I may as well
let us
do a
begin?
sacrifice to get Zeodyne onto one of my better personas. I have that on other personas, so yeah, I kind of want to keep Mazionga with Elect Boost. Oh, and concentrate on one more level, that's nice. No, don't want that.
What?
So there actually isn't really much that I want to fuse here, and I have to end the alarm in order to do rank 8 of strength. So yeah, this feels like a waste, but I just don't want to give up much of my other personas. Anything that I can fuse Lachesis into would require too much money from special treatment, and it's things that are a bit too high level. And then I can turn Valkyrie into Ose, but that's actually a downgrade. So yeah,
Oh. It would
don't really want to do that.
See? You can do it.
But here's what I do want to do. You better appreciate this. It took me a while to get an alarm for this. I will say though, I'm not going to be doing ranks 9 and 10 just yet. Rank 9 requires you to fuse something that's level 49, so I'd rather do that in the next dungeon when I won't need to pay for special treatment for that one. Ah yes, self-aware tsunderes once more. She just admitted it. That's massive, massive progress, Tsundere-wise.
Yes.
I mean, this is true for all of the Confidants when you think about it. They change just as much as the protagonist does. I guess it's because of this that I generally prefer this one to the equivalent social link in Persona 4 with Margaret. I feel like that one doesn't really, like, it's fusion requests, but, like, Margaret herself doesn't really develop or change all that much. Yeah, it's just, I'm really not a huge fan of Margaret in general, though, so that could be biasing me there. But yeah, seems like whoever wrote this list wanted you to grow as people. Or, you know, people-looking otherworldly beings. Hey, even Igor gets a guest appearance in this Confidant. I was half expecting Caroline to go, "See, inmate, you made us get in trouble." Yeah, so this is going to increase the options we get from this. And in fact, the one you need to fuse for rank 10 of strength also requires this. So I suppose I can show this off before we end things. This is going to be like a mainly fusion episode, but also a small amount of progress in the actual palace. Near evenly split. Yeah, I feel like death is meant to be the actual halfway point of the deck. Yes, let's not get carried away discussing Arcana symbolism just yet. Oh yes, it is very, very incredible. It's a discount on special treatment, so,
Farewell.
You already don't expect me to complete it. You're just like, farewell. Yeah, you'll just leave and not do this. Bugs with Summer are come. And this one's actually kind of problematic as well, because you actually have to have finished the Yandere Mementos quest to even fuse bugs to begin with. So yeah, if you skip on Mementos missions, you won't be able to complete strength. And in the base game, it means you won't even be able to get special treatments.
Can you gather them up?
But yeah, we've got a whole lot of new fusions opening up here. We have Trumpeter. I like that he's made from all 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, though. I think this is the first of the, like, Persona games to actually have all 4 of them in it, unless Persona 1 or 2 did. Vasuki, who got a pretty cool expanded role in Shin Megami Tensei 5. Sraosha, who requires quite a lot of things. Yoshitsbroken. Yeah, this guy. And this one's kind of interesting because one of the component personas of this is actually an ultimate, so yeah, it's kind of weird. Completing a certain arcana is actually required to fuse Yoshitsune. Oh yes, and he has Retaliating Body, which is one of the most broken traits in the game, because of course they had to give him more. Michael requires a fusion of all 3 of the other Archangels. Also, yeah, this thing was called God's Judgment back in Persona 4 and was only available through skill change, but now it's actually a regular skill. Kind of weird that it's considered such a late game one though, because it's like, you know, halves enemy HP, but if the enemy's weak to this, they're weak to instant kill bless, so you might as well reduce their HP to 0%, and I already had access to you from Chariot. So yeah, that's some more things unlocked in the Velvet Room, that's some more topics talked about regarding Okumura and worker exploitation, and some of stories from my childhood on fast food chains, and yeah, next time, the Airlock awakens. See you all then.